In this video, you'll learn how after cutting like this, then like this, and finally like this, to control not only one, but the 4 aces, and even better than that, control the whole deck order. These are by far the easiest and most deceiving false cuts you can learn as a magician. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a pro, these are very easy to learn and implement, and it will definitely help you to create the illusion that you're cutting the cards genuinely. So it sounds good to you, grab your deck of cards, sit down, and let's get into it. So the first false cut I'll teach you is definitely the easiest and the most deceiving to perform. Because as you will see, if you try to make the honest version of it, meaning that you are genuinely cutting, it looks sketchy and doesn't look genuine. Whereas when you do it in the false way, using the same mechanics, it looks very convincing that you are genuinely cutting. Later I will show you how it looks, but for now, let's get into the mechanics of it. So for learning purposes, I'll be leaving the ace of spades on the top so it's easier to follow. But keep in mind that all the false cut I'll be teaching in this tutorial do not change the order of the deck. But for now, as a reference, let's keep the ace of spades on top. So to start, we're gonna be grabbing the cards into a mechanics grip, and with the other hand we're gonna make a top packet, a small one. We're gonna aiming for 3 packets, so we're gonna perform 2 cuts. I recommend you to go with these 3 packets. You can do as many as you want, but for now just stick to the classic version, which is 3 packets, and then you can explore other options. So from here we're gonna create the first packet. We're gonna place it on the table to the right of the hand that we're handling the cards with. Then we're gonna create a second packet that more or less I would recommend you to aim around the same amount of cards, doesn't have to be exact. And once you get the second packet, you're gonna place it to the right of the top packet you created. And finally, with the bottom packet, you just leave it to the right of the second packet you create. And because we cut it in this orientation from left to right, we're gonna continue and collect the packet from left to right like this. And as you can see, the top was placed again back to the second portion of the deck, and the second portion of the deck was placed on top of the bottom one, leaving all the deck untouched, so we perform the control successfully. Again, very quick, without showing you the ace face up. What we're gonna do is just first packet, second packet, third packet, and collect from first, second, third, and square it back. And we just control the whole deck perfectly. I know that you're probably thinking at this point that this is very obvious, people can perceive that, or it's easy, but keep in mind that you can perceive this because you know the secret and you know what to look for. But in a normal situation where you're performing magic, you're handling cards in a normal manner without signaling that you're doing something sketchy, it is definitely a false cut that it's unperceivable, and even if they're burning, it's hard to tell. And now, because I want to erase any doubts or fears that you have by doing this, because it looks kind of obvious, I will show you how it looks when you do it genuinely, meaning that when you do an honest cut. And it looks something like this. This, believe it or not, changed the order of the deck, as you can see here. And that was the honest version on how to cut the deck with the same mechanics. So with this, I want to show you that the false one, the false version of it, looks definitely the real one, the convincing one, whereas the real one, where we are actually changing the order of the deck, looks sketchy. So with that in mind, I recommend you to get with the deck, try to practice it, and try to naturalize it. Make your body relax whenever you perform this kind of cheating techniques, because the main part of the successful of this technique is the attitude, is the way you're handling the cards and the way you're performing secret techniques, or let's say cheating techniques, so people will not sense that there's something going on, so they will have nothing to look for. Now for the second false cut, you will see that there's different ways and versions you can perform, but these are all based from the original one from Frank Thompson, called the Frank Thompson's cut, which looks something like this. What you saw in the intro was basically the simplified version that I think was, let's say, merging better with the style of the whole cuts I've been performing in the intro. But keep in mind that the original one looks something like this, and is the one that I professionally use sometimes. But for now, I'll be teaching you first the basic, then if you want I can teach you this one, but it will require you to know or at least be familiar with the swing cut that I made a tutorial about it. And then I will also show you little details that you can add. It depends on your style and what you think it's more convenient to you. So the basic mechanics of it is to perform a kick cut or the beginning of a swing cut. So we place the top packet on our left hand like this, receiving it with a mechanics grip. And once we are in this situation, we just place the bottom packet on the table and finish it by placing back the top packet like this. I know in this way of explaining it looks very obvious and it's hard to imagine that it's fooling, but keep in mind that one of the details that makes it fooling is first the timing, second the attitude, and third the orientation of the packets. And as you will see, once we perform it like this and then place it vertically like this, plus we add this let's say forward motion that emulates the way we're gonna be cutting a packet generally, it's very deceiving. Again, attitude, timing, it's very important, but the way I would perform like the simplified version of it will be by doing this. We will perform the swing cut, we orient the packet we are just handling with the mechanics grip vertical to the table. So then from here, once we are in this situation, we're gonna move forward the bottom packet and then grab back the top packet and square it all together like this. In real time, it will look something like this. As you can see, the fact that I'm changing the orientation of the packets, it's what helps to emulate the sensation that I'm really doing this. But actually, what I'm doing is basically just taking the packets and putting them back together in the same order. So now, if you're interested on the original version, that it looks like this, I recommend you to get familiar with the swing cut if you are not. But if you are ready, and if you are not, you can still follow it. But what it starts is like this. We're gonna perform a swing cut with the first packet, then a second packet, as in the original swing cut. And once we have it like this, we're gonna place our pinky finger, making a pinky break like this. Once we have the bottom packet, what we are doing is basically placing it to the table. Now we're gonna grab the second packet that, remember, it's separated by our pinky, put it back to the table, trying to emulate all the time this forward motion that we will do with a genuine cut, and finally getting the top the top packet on the top. If you want to make it easier to follow, I can show you how it looks. It looks something like this, boom, boom, and boom. It looks like you've been generally cutting the cards, and from my style, it definitely fits. But if you would like to perform something that it's kind of in between, that it's like the simple, but adding a little subtlety to make it more convincing, I recommend you to add this little kick that a lot of magicians do whenever they perform this. They do this, the swing cut, and now instead of just going to the table directly, as we would do in the simple version, what they're doing is basically this. They put it vertical, tap the bottom packet, leave it on the table, and square it back like this. So in real time, it will look something like this. This is more of a personal choice. I recommend you to explore these three versions, try to see which one feels more organic in your hands. If I recommend you one to choose from, it will be either the basic one, which looks like this, or the original one, the Frank Thompson's cut, that it looks like this, and it's the one that I normally perform in my professional sessions. So it's definitely up to you. Please try to get your hands into it, try to interiorize it, naturalize it in your hands, and from there, your body, the reactions from the people, and the feeling you get when performing it will tell you which version will suit best for your style. And for the last false cut, it's definitely the simplest of all in terms of mechanics. This one I like because it feels organic, and in my hands, in my style, it definitely fits. And I like it because when I saw it on the Scene Divine YouTube channel, and because it is so familiar, this move to me, and I perform it a lot, I thought that this could be a good chance for me to show you so you can potentially incorporate it into your repertoire. It's not complicated, it's super simple, and if you do it with attitude, it's fooling. I can tell you this. And what I'm taking advantage of is my natural tendency of performing this all-around square up deck motion that normally I perform whenever I'm doing a show or I'm performing a card trick. From here, you can take also advantage from this. And what we're doing to make it a false cut is basically performing the all-around square up, but on the middle of the whole sequence, what we're doing is to cut the deck in two, like this, from the bottom. And what we're doing is separate like this, changing the orientation of the packet. So we create kind of the convincing illusion that we're doing with this kicking or this orientation change from the second false cut. So we perform it like this, change the orientation. And once we're here, we emulate again the same forward motion to emulate this honest cut that we're trying to perform. But we're just simply, and I will put the ace of spades on top. So we're just simply squaring the deck all around, and in the middle of the sequence, just cutting the deck from the bottom, and now completing the sequence by letting the top packet drop where it was in the beginning. And this one, again, I know that you may think, oh, this is very obvious, this definitely people can't see that, but when you're doing it in a situation when there should be no tension on the deck, where you're just taking the deck and doing it like this, and plus giving this careless handling, it's definitely fooling, and I recommend you to implement it as soon as possible so you can see it by yourself, because we don't want to bring attention where it should not be. Like, for example, where we are cutting or where we're losing a car, this should not be important at all. So that was a tutorial. I hope you like it, I hope you enjoy it, and if so, please don't forget to give me a like. This will help me a lot. And if you like this type of content, consider subscribing, as I'll be uploading many other tutorials in the future that will go from basic to intermediate to more advanced, so everybody will have a tutorial according to their level. And if you like to learn magic in a meaningful, structured way, I definitely recommend you to take a look at my membership, where there you will find exclusive content as well as tutorials that come from my professional repertoire that will never be publicly available in the channel. Plus, if you get into the highest tier, you'll have the chance to get into one-on-one sessions with me, so I can directly help you to learn and perfect the magic you're doing. So now, if you want to keep learning with me and learning here these super cool videos that I'm sure you will enjoy, thank you so much for watching this tutorial till the end, and I hope to see you in the next one.